This program is brought to you by City Government of Addis Ababa Education Bureau in collaboration with Addis Media Network. This is Grade 5 English Language Home Tutorial class. It is presented by Abdullah Gobana. Students, do you remember what we've talked in the previous class? Good. In the previous class, we've talked about present perfect tense. Present perfect tense means something which has a relationship with the past and with the present. Okay? When we say this, something happened in the past and the result is in the present. Okay? For example, maybe if you have finished your homework, you can say, I have finished my homework. Okay? You have finished maybe before certain time. So, but we are talking about the result, okay? Nice. And also it can be used to talk about the actions started in the past, okay? Or began in the past. And the result is in the present. Or maybe it's still ongoing. Am I right? Yes. And also we can say, present perfect tense to talk about the actions which happen repeatedly, or the repeated actions or experiences. We have lived here for 2 years. We have lived in America for 5 years. This is what? The experience, repeated experience. Is it clear? Nice students. Okay, today we are going to talk about WH questions. WH questions and time expressions. Expressions in present perfect. Present perfect tense. Okay, students, at the end of today's lesson, you will be able to talk what kinds of word or WH cases can be used in present perfect tense, and also the time expressions that can be used in present perfect tense. Okay? Good. At the end of the sentence, at the end of the lesson, and also you will be able to use the time expressions and WH questions in sentence form. Are you ready? Bravo. Okay, students, what do we mean when we say WH question? WH questions, just we can use such kinds of questions to talk or to ask something in deeply. Okay? If you want to ask information, the deep information, you can use WH questions. So what kinds of WH questions do you know? Yes? Please tell to your parents the WH questions that you know. Students' parents, please help them. Then listen what they're saying. You have only 30 seconds. Nice students. I hope you talk to your parents. Isn't it? Nice. So, when we say WH question means the question which started from WH, and maybe some others can be there. Another? Who? Where? Yes? What? Another one is how? How many? Another one is how much? how much? And we can say when, even if this one is not this much divisible in present perfect tense. Because in present perfect tense, our attention is not on the time. Our attention is what? On the result, okay? So even sometimes the time may not be mentioned, even if this one is still possible, okay? So students, when we say how, why, who, where, what, when, how many, or how much, how many, and the others can be used. Yeah, it's possible here, we can put here which. Okay, students. Now it is time to make or to ask question using these kinds of expression. Are you ready? Nice students. So, for example, if you want to ask the question, how can we use it? May I give you an example here? How have you come? How have you come? Bear your mind. Here is WH question. You should be added here. How have you come? What about which? Which? Yes. Which one? We can say, which one have you done? Which one have you done? What about why? Yes. Why have you asked? Have you asked me? Why have you asked me? Yes, if you want to know the reason, you can ask such kinds of words. Okay? So these are the examples. Now it's time to see about this concept one by one. Okay? So here, WH cases. We will talk about their functions. Yes? What? We use what to ask, yes, for things. Or maybe for information. What about why? Ask for, yes, reason. Why something happened. What about where? Where can be used to ask for place. Who? To ask for person. What about which? Which can be used to ask the question just like option. For option, we can use it. Or the choice, or alternatives. Okay? Option or alternative. What about the next point in there here? When we use it what? To ask some information about, or for what? For time. Another one is how. But what? The manner. Ask for manner, or the way, or the method, or the techniques that we use can be asked there. What about how many? How many? To ask what? The quality or the quantity of something. Yes? That is ask for countable noun. Countable noun, something which can be counted. How many? What about how much? How much is used to ask for uncountable, something which cannot be counted. Uncountable noun. This and the others can be used in such ways. I hope it's clear. Huh? So, now I'm going to prepare this one just in question forms. For example, yes, WH question. In question 4. For example, who here who has written these assignments. Look, question mark. Who has written these assignments? What about which? Which one have you? Which one have you selected? Here, which one have you selected? The third one. Where? Yes. Where have you been? Where have you been? And that's how we can say another form. Where, yes, have you gone? Here, are the same this on the third one, the fourth one? They're not the same. So what the difference between have been and have gone? Do you know their difference? Have been. When you are using such kinds of structure, have been means if someone, yes, has gone somewhere and returned. If, yes, someone has gone somewhere, and then what? Returned. Returned or came back. What about here? Has or have gone? Has or have gone. Here, if someone has gone somewhere, and, yes, and hasn't returned. And hasn't here returned. Is that clear? For example, maybe if your teacher can ask you such kinds of question, here, teacher, and then students. Maybe if your teacher said, where have you been? Where have you been? This means you have gone somewhere and then returned, okay? At that time, your teacher can ask you such kinds of questions. So what can you say? I have been, yes, maybe in the office. I have been in the office. We can say, And if maybe you or someone has gone to America, maybe I can ask you where your brother has gone. He has gone to America. This means he didn't return, okay? He didn't return or he didn't come back. Am I right? Bravo, students. Maybe another example can be given in such ways. Now, let's identify the form of maybe if you're using W2 cases in such kinds of expressions. Here, who has. This means W2 question, then plus what? Has or have. Who has written these assignments? When I said, just I put here the form, only the form can be just written like this. WH question. WH question. Plus, yes, has or have. Yes, then WH question is here. Yes, have. Here is the subject, okay? So, plus subject. Here in all sentence, we can get the subject here. Okay? This assignment is also here. This assignment when we say it here. So, WH question plus has or plus have plus the subject. Is it clear? Bravo. So, in such ways, you can make sentence. Here is yes or no question. In this sentence, we can understand also about yes or no question. Okay? Okay, please sit and be with me. Let's give you another example about using the same structure. What about how many and how much? Yes? How many books have you? Yes, both. Here it has, in some way, it has different structure. Okay? How many plus subject. Then, have you bought? How many books have you bought? Look, when we said books, this one is countable noun. All countable nouns have their own what? Plural forms, except some words just like ship, just like deer and so forth. So what about how much? How much water here? How much water have you? Yes, have you drunk? How much water have you drunk? It is a question for. Very remind, because here the water is what? Uncountable noun. Something which cannot be counted. That's the reason why you use here how much. I think I'm clear. Good student. Okay, come on. Let's go to the next point here about what if yes or no question. Yes or no questions in present perfect. Present perfect. Look at here. Yes or no questions. And in present perfect tense, you have to start from have or has. Okay? Have you had your lunch? Look. Have you had your lunch? Question 4. Let's say this one is Mr. A, this one is maybe Mr. B. Have you had your lunch? The answer will be what? Yes, 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 I have. Yes, I have. Okay? Because this one is yes or no question. What about if the subject is singular or third person singular especially? Has she gone to school? Has she gone to school? What the response will be? The response will be yes. Maybe if she didn't or if she hasn't, we can say what? No, she hasn't. No, she hasn't. This means why we said yes or no question. Okay, student. Now it's time to to write this activity. Activity 1. Okay, student. Put the appropriate cursing words, or sometimes can be said information question. Appropriate cursing words on the gaps. Question number 1. Blank when have you done? Number 2. Blank have you been? The third one, have they both? And the third one, the fourth one, blank the given assignment. Okay, student, since it is very simple, so I want to give you only 1 minute. Students' parents, please don't forget to help the children. Do it, please. Bravo. I hope you did it. So let's go to the answer. Blank one have you done? Yes? Which one? Which one have you done? This is option, okay? This means the option is given just 2 or more. If 2 or more options given, you can use such kinds of expressions. Blank have you been? Yes? I'm asking about what? Place. So, where have you been? Where have you been? What about the third one? Blank books they bought. How? Yes? Many or much? How many? How many books? Because this one is countable noun, something which can be counted. blank, you finished the given assignment. There, please. Have you finished the given assignment? It can be used in such kinds of ways because this one is yes or no questions. In yes or no question, we have to start from have or has, then the subject and verb 3. What about in WH question? In WH question, we have to start from WH question, then have or has plus the subject, then plus the verb 3, or the past participle of the form of the given verb. Next student, come on. Let's go to the next point. It's a very important point about time expressions. Time expressions. Time expressions in present perfect tense. Present perfect tense. Okay, student, when we say time expressions, what kinds of words do you remember? Do you remember about time expressions? Good. I hope you have something in your mind. When we say time expressions, we're talking about the word just like since, for, ever, maybe never. Yes, just like the word just. Yes, yet, already. I hope you have some information about this concept. As very important point. So please pay attention, okay? So when do we use since, for? What's the difference between them? Okay? Here are the points which could be raised, so I want to start from since because it needs great attention. Since. It is used to indicate the specific time, a specific time in the past. In the past. Bear in your mind, the specific time when we says in another ways, this means, yes, a starting point. The starting point of something. Starting point of something. So when we say the starting point, what do we mean there? Here, for example, let's say somebody is just standing around here and he's talking. He's standing around here. Yes, the person is here. And this one is the starting point. Let's say this 2010. This point is just on what? 2010. Okay, the person is just standing here and he's talking about something happened in the past and which has strong relationship with the present. Okay? So here, just let's say this one is just the person who is standing here and talking about some concept. Okay? So, come on here, see that? When we say the starting point, we mean that what? 2010. So, I can say here, I have lived here since 2010. Yes, I have lived here since 2010. This means the starting point. Okay, the starting point. When we count from the starting point to the present, it is not but since. That is for, okay? So, and also I can say here, we have learned. We have learned in this university since 2010. You are just standing where? 2017 in Ethiopian calendar. This one is also in Ethiopian calendar. Here, I stood here. Then I'm talking about something which started in 2010. Then we can count it. When we count them, just we can get the length of the time. Okay? I hope. So when we say 2010, this one is the starting point. Starting, yes, point. So what about 4 here? 4. When do we use 4? 4 is used to, it is used to talk, yes, the length of the time in the past. In the past. Okay? Look at the difference between these two concepts. Maybe I can change this one into 4 within the same meaning. I can say here, I have lived here since 2010. So when we change into 4, we can say, I have lived here for, yes, 7 years. Isn't it? When we count from 2010 to 2017, we can get the gap what? The gap of 7 years. I have lived here for 7 years. Look at the difference. This one, the length of the time. This means just somebody is standing around here. Okay? We're talking about 2010. Then, if you are standing here, you can mention just, look at here. We can count the gap between these concepts. When we count the gap, we can get what? 7 years. So this one is the length between 2010 and 2017. We can get 7 years. This one is the length. Am I right? Bravo. So what about, the next point is that just and already. Just and already. What do we say just means? Very recently. Very recently. Something which happened very recently. For example, if you have had your breakfast and maybe few minutes ago, you can say what? I've just here. It goes between have and verb 3. I have just eaten. I have just eaten my breakfast. My breakfast. Look, what about already? Already means sooner. Sooner than expected. Sooner than expected. For example, if your teacher gave you homework or maybe classwork, which should be completed within 10 minutes, if you have finished the assignment or the test or something else before the given time, you can use what? Already. Okay? You can say, I have already it goes between haven't or hasn't, verb 3. Already finished. I've already finished it. Necessary. What about another point is here? Never. Never shows what? Negative implication. It has what? Negative implication. We can say, I have never. I have never gone there. Gone there. It's a negative. I've never gone there. What about ever here? We can use such kinds of ever most of the time to ask what? Question. To ask question. And also even sometimes to make a negative, it can be used there. Have you ever seen a lion? Have you ever seen a lion? To make question. Okay? What about yet here? Yet can be used. Yes, most of the time, yet can be used in negative form. And in question form can be used here. Okay, here, I haven't finished the research. I haven't finished the research yet. I haven't finished the research yet. This one's a negative, okay? And so what about question here? Haven't you finished the research yet? We can say here. Most of the time, it goes at the end of the sentence, okay? It goes at the end of the sentence where ever goes between what? The subject and the verb 3. And this one is also between the subject, haven't or has, verb 3. It can go just like this. Okay, see then. Now I'm going to give you an activity which should be done within 1 or maybe 1.5 minutes. Activity 2. Okay? Activity 2. Put the appropriate time expressions. Time expressions to complete the sentence. The sentence. Question number 1. She has blank filled her classwork. Number 2. Have you blank seen the haven't you submitted the project? And the last one. I haven't seen you in the class. Where have you blank? That's all, student. To complete this one, you have only 1 minute. Do it, okay? Bravo. Come on, students, here. Let's check whether you are right or wrong. Question number 1. She has blank filled her classwork. She has blank filled her classwork. Yes, she has. So the answer should be she has already. Or, it depends on you. You can say she has already or she has just. When you say already, you mean that before the given time, sooner the given time, okay? When you say just, this means she or he has finished the classwork, yes, very recently, okay? It's possible because it depends. Have you seen the Heinemann? Have you ever seen the Heinemann? It's possible. Nice. Haven't you submitted the project to, yes? Yet. The last one. I haven't seen you in the class. I haven't seen you in the class. Where have you blank? Just I'm talking with you, okay? This means you return from where you had. Okay? So we can say what? Where have you been? We cannot say, where have you gone? Because I'm just talking with you. This means you returned from somewhere. Okay, students, I hope it's clear. Bravo, bravo. That's all about today's lesson. So let's summarize what we have talked. Today we have talked about WH questions, yes or no questions, and time expressions in present perfect tense. When we say WH question, we mean that the question which starts from WH. Most of the time, we ask such kinds of questions for deep information. Okay? Even something can be said, information question. Yes or no means the question which needs yes or no answers. And the last one is about time expression, just like just, already, yet, ever, never. And also what? Another point is here, yet and so forth. Am I right? Good students. Thank you. See you.